Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today, and we are happy to have you here. My name is Arwin. I am the Customer Success Manager at Assembly AI. In the past 5 years, I've been helping organizations of different sizes across the world to enable AI within their team, most particularly in enabling specific use cases surrounding meetings, and also to enable use cases more specific to PPM, project portfolio management, across the sales team, and many others. So today, the webinar, we will discuss about how AI becomes a true teammate in a knowledge work. I think this is an important knowledge for us to understand where to position AI and to have the right mindset to look at AI and how we can start adapting AI in our day-to-day. So hopefully, by the end of the webinar, you have a better understanding and have some key takeaways to start adopting, or if you already start adopting AI, to escalate it and bring it forward to bring more value into your team. Now, before we start with the main topic, I would like to get a feel and start the first poll of this webinar by asking you to share with us which best describe how you currently think about AI at work. So, Katya, if you can help me to launch the poll for the participants. We would like to understand whether you see AI as a tool that automates tasks, or maybe an assistant that supports your work, or it could be a system that changes how the work is done, or maybe something that you're still figuring it out. I'd be interested to see where you see AI today, and hopefully through this webinar, you can have a better view on how we should position AI. All right, we give it a few more seconds for people to participate and answer the question. And all right, we see 4 people answers. And okay, yeah, we can close the poll. And as you can see, most people here in the poll describe AI as an assistant that supports your work. You are not wrong, but actually AI can do a lot more than that. And that's what we will discover more today. But generally, I think you are already in the right direction to see that AI as an assistant that can support your work. Now, to open up this topic, I'm sharing a diagram from a McKinsey study to show the demand for AI fluency. So one thing that I want to clarify from the get-go, AI won't eliminate knowledge work. It will reshape how work is divided between humans and the machines. At least that's what we've seen so far with our customers and our users. Because again, AI help with task redistribution, so it's not cutting job. Because if you think about it, we as a human, we deal with a lot of cognitive drag in our day-to-day. And at the very same moment, we have to make high-stakes decision at work. Those cognitive drag can influence how those high-stakes decisions are made. By leveraging AI, you can free your judgment from those cognitive drag. And also, AI can handle parts of work that are cognitively heavy, but strategically light. So again, I want to rephrase the importance of understanding that AI won't eliminate the human, but it's how we should position AI alongside the humans within your team. And also AI as a memory and also as execution infrastructure is very important. You have to view AI as a workflow partner. So again, I want to reiterate that in the future, AI will become our partner. Most human skill will still endure. We still require those skills to perform the work and to produce the output. But those skills will be applied differently. And the demand for AI fluency is increasing, meaning that we need to learn how to manage AI tools and also how we can apply them at the right place. And as you can see here on the graph, employees in occupations seeking for AI fluency, it has grown near sevenfold since 2023. So again, it's important that we can position AI in the right way and embed and integrate it in the right place in our work stream. Now, let's focus on something more particular in our day-to-day, something around our meetings. So a lot of people actually complain about meetings, but I think it's somehow misdirected. Now, before I jump deeper into the topic around meetings, I would like to launch another poll here. So Katya, if you can help me to launch the poll. I would like to have a better understanding also, and for us to share with everyone here, where do we see humans add the most value at work currently? Is it making judgment and trade-offs? Or it could be around providing context and nuance? Or maybe being accountable for outcomes, or it could be all of the above. Okay. Okay, that's great. I see 5 people respond to the poll, and I think we can close the poll and share the results, Katya. Thank you for providing your answer. And as we can see, you guys see it all, that all of the above is where the human shines and where we actually play a role. So AI won't replace us in these functions, but AI can definitely help us to improve the quality and elevate the output of our work. Now, moving on to the next slide here, let's discuss about meetings. Why we complain a lot about meetings and why meetings fail. Early on, I mentioned that it's being misdirected because I think what we should complain, it's not the meeting itself, but it's about what comes after the meeting. Because within the meeting itself, actually, that's where our judgment peaks. The real failure is actually happen after the meeting because the outcome of the meeting just dissolved and there is no reliable system to carry them forward. And we have to be very careful with this because there is an invisible cost of failure when decisions being made without rational and then actions created without owners, it will cause repetition, drift, and also rework. And the breakdown just happened after the meeting. Now, to look at the human AI partnership model, we have to start thinking about the workflow redesign and consider about areas that we can automate. Because AI, it won't create value by replacing people, but it might add the real value through its consistency across time. Because it's something that sometimes humans are lacking is the consistency across time, how we keep track of how things evolve in the conversation. Now, let's dissect the meeting and look at the 3 important layers of every meeting. So here, as we can see on the slides, the first layer of meeting is to capture and to recall. So we have to keep in mind that we need to recall past conversation and also carry them forward to lead into something that we can move forward and bring up and pursue the goal of the conversation. And then the second part of the meeting, the second layer here is the sense making, where we interpret the new information that come in and how we can combine past discussion and other information around our work within the discussion. And the third layer is around the decisions and accountability. So the thing about AI within the meeting, AI is tireless and consistent. We have to admit that sometime in the meeting, our mind might drift a little. We might miss some important pointers that were brought up in the meeting. But AI will always consistent and tireless in capturing every little information that we discuss in the meeting. Not only it captures, but it will also structure and keeps the continuity to follow through and see how things have evolved across different conversation. So of course, human excel in judgment, in ownership, and in ethics. But when combined with AI consistency, the decision quality will go up and the execution will follow. Now, let's jump into another poll here. We would like to see how we see AI most effectively complement human work today. Is it on handling repetitive cognitive tasks, or is it in terms of processing large volumes of information, or maybe maintaining consistency over time, or maybe you think that AI can cover all of the above? So, Katya, can you help me with the poll again? Thank you. Okay, I see 3 people submitting their answer. 4, 5, perfect. We got 6 answers. Awesome. All right, let's close the poll and share with all participants here, Katya. Thank you. So we see that most of you see how AI can complement human work today as all of the above, but it's interesting to see that some of you consider that AI can predominantly help us in handling repetitive cognitive tasks. That's not wrong because that's the technology that we begin with AI. But trust me, the evolution of the technology can actually bring AI to do much more than handling repetitive cognitive tasks. But it's a good start to see how AI can already support that area. And throughout this webinar, we can see how AI can actually help you beyond handling repetitive cognitive tasks here. Now, let's discuss about an example here with Assembly AI as an execution infrastructure. So one thing that I like to share with you, for those of you who know Assembly from 5 or 6 years back, you might recognize Assembly as an AI note taker. I just want to clarify that it's no longer the case because Assembly provide much more than AI note taking. Same with the AI technology. Back to my earlier point, we have to understand how to position AI and to bridge the most critical gap that we have within our workstream. Today, with Assembly, not only that you can recall and review your past conversation, but Assembly can also contribute by sending you signals, by sharing with you sharp insights taken from your conversation with your team, or even from conversation that you are not part of, but other team member might provide you the access so you can gather more details, more information from parallel conversation that you were not part of. And definitely, we have to look at the time savings factors because I mentioned earlier when we discussed about the different layers of meetings and the where the meetings fail is around the rework and the drag. Assembly here can definitely help to provide fast follow-up, to provide time savings, and to reduce or eliminate those drags and rework. So again, Assembly is not a meeting recorder, but it's a layer of knowledge that can support and help you to improve the quality of the decision that you have to make every day. So to break it down, let's look at different capability here. The first capability around persistent memory. So this is what I like the most. This is what I use most often because sometimes the human tendency is to have bias, and sometimes our memory can fool us. Even though we think that we remember about certain topic, but our memory might lead us into the wrong direction. But not the case when you utilize AI, or in this example with Assembly, because it is always searchable. If you are in doubt, you can always review the past conversation. But even better, with today's capability within Assembly, you can easily open Samblian, throw in a question, and ask Sambly to help you provide those information. And not only about recalling memory from past conversation, what I use often with my colleague, with other team members, when we have to deal different projects in parallel, when someone need to jump in the middle of the project, it speed up times when they share every conversation related to that project, and where we use Sambly to help us catch up and give us the pointer of all the important information. And then moving on to the second capability, it's about action without policing. Now, as we discussed earlier, one of the failure in meetings is about action without owners. So this is around accountability. The good thing about AI or Sambly in particular, the AI is smart enough to capture every follow-on actions, every task that discussed in the conversation. It captures all the details, including clear ownership and also the context of the task itself. Now, of course, the point is not about changing the way you work, but to bridge that critical gap that we have within our system. Sambly can connect seamlessly with other applications. If you are a project manager and you manage the task through a different platform, it could be Jira, Monday.com, or Asana, or any other tool that you are using. The beauty about adopting AI is that you don't have to change the way you do things. Sambly or any other AI that you are using can definitely help you to streamline that process, to enrich the information without creating unnecessary disruption in your system. And of course, with clear ownership of the task and also the context being preserved, this will speed up and save you time for completing the project itself. The third capability that we want to discuss and highlight here is about the continuity across time. We handle different conversation every day, and sometimes we can mix up or cross-pollinate information from different sources, and that could be dangerous. The beauty of AI, it remains objective. It can surface theme and topic from past conversation easily, and it also maintains the consistency across time so that you can always be sure every update that's been made, every decisions that made in the past will be a factor in making your future decision. So again, think about Sambly as a knowledge layer instead of a meeting note taker, because this is where Sambly really shines, where Sambly can actually guide you and assist you in providing insights and even help you producing some deliverables, some working document through Samblian. And then, of course, the successful AI partnership, considering all those three capabilities, it should be embedded into your workflows. So again, do not look at AI as a tool, but think of it as part of your system, as part of your workstream, that it should be embedded into workflows. It should reduce the friction and it should operate quietly. And again, the best AI should feel invisible, but it improves the outcome. That's how you know when the partnership where you collaborate between human and AI is actually working. Now, the next part here, if you would like to test out and learn more how Sambly can support your specific use cases, whether you are a project manager or you are a sales team lead, please reach out to us, because I know this webinar, we cover how human and AI partnership in a very high level, in a very generic way. But if you are interested in the more specific use cases to actually extract those value and start adopting AI to be your partner in your workflow, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to share more on specific use case that we have, and also to guide you and tailor the solution more specifically for your team. And yeah, do we have any questions from the participants. If you would like to understand something in more details, more specific, please share with us here. We'd be more than happy to bring that topic and share with other participants in this call as well.
Okay, we have a question. You describe Assembly as an AI team assistant. How is it different from a traditional meeting transcription tool?
Okay, this is a great question, actually, because why we describe Assembly as team assistant and set it apart from a traditional meeting transcription tool. Because you have to consider about the value AI brings into your workstream. If the AI only serve as a meeting recorder, I don't think it brings a lot of value because be honest with ourselves, nobody actually review the meeting transcript or the meeting summary every time we finish the call because that's not the point. The point is to save time, not to add tasks to review those things. The beauty of Assembly, the way we design the algorithm and the way we build Assembly as your assistant is not only to give you important insight and useful information, but also to get to know you better, to understand you. My Assembly agent will serve me differently from how your Assembly agent will serve you. Because Assembly also learn on your day-to-day. It knows who you are, what are your responsibilities, and what are the things that matter the most to you. So that's where AI really shines because it learns, it adapts, and it provides insights that is relevant to you. Any other note taker where it transcribe the meeting and provide the summary, I think that area is already heavily saturated these days. You can even get those service for free. But the question you should ask to yourself, what kind of value this tool will bring to me? And with Assembly, if you haven't done it already, I strongly suggest you to start using the Semblian feature, interact with our AI, throw some questions, even question about yourself. And just a very interesting example that I sometimes do from time to time with Assembly, I can also ask Assembly to provide me with some feedback because Assembly follow me around. It understand the way I work, the way I communicate. Sometimes it can help me to identify areas that I can do better. And sometimes it can also highlight things that I shines at and where I should pay my attention to. So again, traditional tool won't be able to do this. This is where Assembly actually shine as your assistant. So yeah, I hope this provide a better understanding to why we label Assembly as an AI team assistant. And okay, I got another question here. How does it work for sales team? So in a traditional manner, in a sales team, every individual will deal with different account in the pipeline. And sometimes it happened that you have to transfer specific account to different team and also for the leader to understand and get visibility on how the overall health of the pipeline is. Now, the fact that Assembly can connect with CRM tools, whether it's Salesforce, HubSpot, or Microsoft Dynamics, it can help to aggregate all the information so that every team member can get visibility on the status on each of the account within the platform that they're already familiar with, within the CRM itself. But more to that, within the Assembly platform, something that available within our enterprise and also max plan is the sharing groups. When you manage a sales team, for example, you probably would like to understand how your team is performing. What are the open items? Where are the areas that require your attention? Where are the gaps and what you can do better to improve your performance? With Samblian, you can aggregate and combine all the information that you have from your team to give you that insights, that information, so you can better understand how your customers view you. Where are the bottlenecks within your sales pipeline? How you can better improve it? What kind of feedback, what kind of trend from the market, and the topic around the discussions that your team is having with your customers. So those insights might seem small, but it's actually very important to drive your decision. And before AI, it's a lot of work to do uh, a weekly call with your team to get all the updates. But there are things of the past, because with Sambly, you can always assembly, use and leverage those information. And just to give you a glimpse into the future here, we are currently working on testing the MCP connector. This will bring a different game into how AI operates, because later this year, when we enhance our product, when you interact with Sambly, it's no longer only about your meetings. When you connect Sambly with CRM, any updates that you made, any new information available on the CRM can be included into the information that you can get from Sambly, because the communication will work both ways. So that's one example on how Sambly can help a sales team. But there are more examples. If you would like to understand more, and if you willing to share about your team setup, please feel free to reach out and connect with our team. We'll be more than happy to provide you more information on that. And yeah, thank you, Ira. I see that we have another question here. How does the multi-meeting work when I need to find a decision made 3 months ago and I don't know the exact meeting? Okay, this is where Samblian really shines. With Samblian, you don't have to remember which specific meeting you had. You can just provide a context within your prompt and simply ask Sambly, hey, we made this decision roughly about 3 weeks ago. Can you point out which meeting specifically we discussed about this and give me the surrounding context? Sambly will be able to help you to index your meeting library and to find the information and the specific that you are looking for. And this is just one small example, because Samblian can do much more than that. So again, you don't really have to remember the exact meeting that you have, because Sambly understand and keep track of everything. Think about it like you are asking your assistant or your team member when you chat with them. Just provide the context, provide some pointers, and then you will get the answer that you're looking for. If you haven't got the answer that you're looking for, you can always rework on the prompt, rework on the question. And I think this is also another skill for us, very important to understand and to master, is the prompt engineering, how we actually communicate with AI. So maybe this could be another topic when we build another webinar. But yeah, to answer your question, how does the multi-meeting work? Just provide the context to Samblian, ask your question, and Sambly should be able to provide you with the exact meeting that you're looking for and specific information that you are looking for as well. Okay. So yeah, we can stay a bit more. If you have more question, we are always happy to answer more question and provide you with more information. But for those of you who have other commitments, we respect your time. We know that we are already at time. Thanks again for joining today's webinar. Feel free to reach out to our team to learn more. Even if you just want to learn about different use cases, or learn about how Sambly can help to elevate your team, reach out to us. We're always happy to connect with people. And for those of you who want to stay a bit longer with your questions, please share your question with us. We are happy to answer them.